Greetings, Reel to Reels. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about recording yourself for retrospectives. This is maybe one of the easiest tools in the toolbox that you will, in terms of like how hard it is to implement versus how much you will benefit from it. This is probably the greatest ratio of ease to benefit of anything that you might learn here. And that is to install an app on your phone. And every phone, iPhone, Android, whatever, they're going to have a recording app, like a voice recording app or an audio recording app that you can install. Put the button for the app on your home page, on your home screen, whatever's the quickest to access. And here's why. Anytime you are entering a situation in which you're going to be trying to enact tools of parenting, you're going to be trying to teach your children something, or you're reacting to a bad situation that's just arisen, like, your kids have broken something, your kids have hurt themselves, your kids are fighting, there's just something that you've got to handle. And it could become a situation that you're going to want to learn from. So pretty much most situations, I would say, with the exception of like safety situations. If it's safety, you need to react now and not fiddle with your phone, obviously. But for other situations, have that button on your phone. And all you got to do before the situation starts, unlock your phone, hit record, and then forget about your phone until the situation's over. Keep your phone with you, obviously. So what this allows you to do is, after the situation's over, if you felt like you handled the situation as good as you could, maybe you don't need the recording. Maybe you do anyway, just because you want to review what happened. But especially for the situations in which you look back and you feel something was wrong, or even you didn't handle that as well as you could have, or there was just something that you didn't like about the interaction. Later, when you have time, not in the moment, not in front of, them or a bunch of people, you can hit play on that audio recording and you can listen back to everything that happened. And you can, with your sort of, with a rational, clear mind that's out of the immediacy of the situation, you can listen to what happened and you can make clear-headed judgments of what happened and what they said that triggered you, what you said that wasn't good or that you could have done better. You can go back and process through what happened. This is useful because there's something about when you hear your own voice separately, separate from the time you're actually speaking it, you can realize how you sound. Now, when I'm in a stressful situation, I have a tendency to be very controlling. I have a tendency to jump into the middle of it, grab control of all of the knobs and dials and levers, and sort of right the ship immediately. Domineering might be too strong of a word, but my first instinct, my lizard brain, my software running on top of everything, wants to jump in the middle, grab hold of everything, sort of stop whatever's happening, and then reconfigure and let it run again. And so I've noticed that there's something about when I listen to myself back after these situations, I realize, holy crap, I sounded like an asshole, or like, wow, I didn't know that I was just so domineering in that situation, or man, that my tone of voice just came off totally different than how I intended it to, or how I wanted it to, or how it should have. I was putting out this air or this emotion of X when what would have been helpful in that situation is Y. And it will make you aware of things about what you're putting out and how you are interacting that you wouldn't have, even noticed in the moment. Because when you're in the moment, you're focused on whatever is happening outside of you and not what's happening inside of you. And listening to your voice back will take you back to that point and then help you sort of self-analyze, give you a great deal of self-awareness. So I think that's a huge, it sounds like such a simple thing, might even sound stupid to some people, but hit record. All you got to do. And look, if you finish the situation and everything was fine, then you just hit stop and delete the recording, and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't take a lot of time. You know, it doesn't even take a lot of space on your phone. It's real easy to do. Oh, something's happening. Record, you know, phone in the pocket, handle the situation. Afterwards, you can decide if you need the recording. More often than not, it's probably good to listen to some of that, because you're also going to be able to take yourself out of the moment and listen to the things that other people said. Wow, I didn't really notice in the moment, but my son was, you know, I detected maybe some fear in his voice that I didn't notice in the moment. And in the moment, I just totally didn't even notice that fear. Well, what about me made me unable to notice the fear in the moment? Anyway, so hopefully you get it. It's sort of a tool, a very powerful tool for retrospection and introspection and self-awareness, is being able to listen to yourself back afterwards. I had this idea from interacting with my wife via, we have a messaging program called Signal that we use, and it allows you to send voice messages instead of texting or whatever. So you hit a button and you talk, and it records your voice and sends the recording of the voice to your wife. And occasionally, like all married couples do, we got into a conflict. Happened multiple times, of course. And so we're using this voice thing to go back and forth. And there was this one moment where one time I hit play on my own voice message to her, and I heard how I was speaking to my wife. And it was sort of an eye-opening, mind-blowing moment. Like, oh my God, I had no idea that is how I was communicating with somebody that I love. And that is not how I want to communicate with somebody that I love. So it was a powerful moment of introspection. And it's so easy on these modern devices to record everything that you do and get the capacity to have that introspection. Highly recommend it. If you have recommendations for good, quick voice recording apps, drop them in the comments. If you've used this and found it helpful, let us know. Let's have a dialogue about these courses, about these class videos that we're talking about, so that we can build on them. And you know, if we have new ideas in this space, I will obviously create follow-up videos in this area. All right, guys, have a good one.